Hello, students. How are you? Hope you are fine, safe, and sound in your homes. Today, I'm going to explain Unit 8, Lesson 1, Unit 8, Lesson 1, which in page 86. So the title of the unit is Out and About, and the title of the lesson is A Day Out in London. So here we have some pictures of the most famous places or most famous sites in London. We have Jana went to London with her friends, and she wrote an email to her friend to tell her about her visit to London and where she went with her friends. So we have some extracts, three extracts or three paragraphs from her email to her friend. We are going to read them. Then we will match the paragraphs with the six pictures which are in your class book, page 86 and 87. I will read for you the extracts. Then we are going to answer question 3 and 4. Let me start reading. Please follow with me. Your class book, page 86. I'm here in extract number 1. This is a photo of our boat trip on the River Thames last Tuesday. It rained a bit, but we enjoyed it. It was really relaxing, and we saw a lot of famous places, including the London Eye. At the end, we visited the Houses of Parliament. That was a bit boring. We wanted to visit Big Ben, but it was closed to visitors. So Jana here told her friend about her visit to the River Thames, which was last Tuesday. The weather was rainy. But they enjoyed their visit. Then they went to the London Eye, which is the most famous place that tourists or visitors visit when they go to London. And at the end, they visited the Houses of Parliament. According to Jana, this was, or her visit was a little bit boring. And they wanted to visit Big Ben, but it was closed to visitors. So this is extract number 1. Let's look at extract number 2. I will continue reading. We watched the ceremony of the changing of the guard outside Buckingham Palace last weekend. It took place at 11:30, and Luna missed it because he arrived late. Then we went to Tate Modern. It was an old power station, but now it is an art gallery. It is really cool. The things there are weird but fascinating. I studied some of them in art at school a few years ago. We finished Sunday afternoon with some shopping in Oxford Street, and Luna bought some souvenirs. So here in extract number 2, or in paragraph number 2, Jana mentioned to her friend her visit to her view for the ceremony of the changing of the guard outside Buckingham Palace, which was last weekend, and it took place. Place here means occurred or happened at 11:30, but her friend Luna missed it because he arrived late. Then they went to the Tate Modern. Tate Modern was an old power station before, but it became an art gallery. Jana enjoyed her visit to the Tate Modern because she knew some information about it. She took some lessons about Tate Modern a few years ago at her school. Then they went to the Oxford Street. They went to the Oxford Street for some shopping. They went shopping there in Oxford Street, and her friend Luna bought some souvenirs. So here, Jana mentioned the ceremony of changing of the guard outside Buckingham Palace. Ceremony means here an event that occurs yearly, monthly, or weekly. It is a special occasion or a special event that seen, or she has seen with her friends, but her friend Luna didn't see the ceremony of the changing of the guards because he came or arrived late. After that, they went to the Tate Modern, which was an old power station, and then it became an art gallery. After that, they went to the Oxford Street for some shopping, and Luna bought some souvenirs. And extract number 3, let's look here. Lona wanted to go on a walking tour yesterday, so we did the Charles Dickens walk. We learned a lot about Dickens' childhood, and we saw places where he lived and worked. The walk was great, but it lasted 2 hours. And was quite tiring. Then also showed they also showed us the house of someone famous in Baker Street. The house is a museum now. Who lived there? I can't remember. Anyway, it was really interesting, but we walked and walked. We were so tired. So at the end of her email, or in the third paragraph, Luna or Jenna, sorry, talked about her walking tour with Lona to the Charles Dickens' childhood, where they knew some information about him. And we all know that Charles Dickens was a great writer. He wrote a lot of novels, and they went to someone famous, to the house of someone famous in Baker Street, and the house is for Sherlock Holmes. It became a museum, so they went to a famous place, or a famous museum, which is the Museum of Sherlock Holmes, which Jenna couldn't remember, and they enjoyed this visit to Charles Dickens' childhood and to the Sherlock Holmes Museum, but they were very tired. They were very tired because the walk took 2 hours. The walk took 2 hours for them, and it was tiring. So let's return back to paragraph number one. So Jenna talked about the London Eye. Here is the London Eye and the Houses of Parliament So she talked in paragraph 1, she talked about picture A and picture E. In paragraph number 2, Jenna talked about the old power station. Okay, and she talked about Oxford Street. Where you can find a lot of famous shops. And Luna bought some souvenirs from there. Then in paragraph number 3, she talked about Charles Dickens' childhood, where she learned some information about the great writer Charles Dickens. And they went to the Sherlock Holmes Museum. In paragraph 3. This is for the lesson. Now let's look at question number 3. Read the statements and write T for true or F for false, then correct the false statements. We are going to read the statements and find out whether they are correct or incorrect. Number 1, the friends visited London by bus. The friends visited London by a boat and on foot. They visited London by a boat and by a boat and on foot. So this statement is incorrect. It is false. Number 2, Jenna liked the art gallery Tate Modern. Yes, it's true. This statement is true. She liked the Tate Modern because she knew some information about it from the lessons she took in her school a few years ago. Statement 3, Jenna wanted to go shopping. False. This statement is false. Jenna wanted to go on a walking tour. She wanted to go on a walking tour with Lona. Number 4, the Charles Dickens walk tour was quite long. This is incorrect statement. This is false. It wasn't quite long. Number 5, there is a cemetery in Baker Street. Jenna didn't mention any cemetery, so this statement is incorrect. You have to omit cemetery and write the house of someone famous. Question number 4, when did the friends do these things? Go on a boat trip. That was last Tuesday. See the changing of the guard. See the changing of the guard. This happened at 11:30 last weekend. This happens at 11:30 last weekend. 3, go shopping on in Oxford Street. This happened on Sunday afternoon. This happened on Sunday afternoon. Go on a walking tour. This happened yesterday. So this is for now. This is for our lesson. So let me remind you once again of the paragraphs. So Jenna wrote an email to her friend to tell her about her visit to London. In paragraph or extract number 1, she told her about the River Thames, about the London Eye, the Houses of Parliament, and she told her they didn't visit Big Ben because it was closed for visitors. And extract number 2, she saw the changing of the guards, the ceremony of changing of the guards outside Buckingham Palace. But Luna missed it because he arrived late. After that, they went to the Tate Modern, which was an old power station, but it became an art gallery. And Jana enjoyed her visit to the Tate Modern. After that, they went to Oxford Street for some shopping. In paragraph number 3 or extract number 3, Luna go on a walking, or she went on a walking tour with her friends. She went to Charles Dickens' childhood, and they went to the house of Sherlock Holmes. See you in lesson number 2 to explain the past simple tense.